So when I first started drawing, okay, what I did is I was just tracing, and I liked the way it was turning out because it were pretty nice drawings, I guess, at the time, and I thought I can draw. I don't know. But whenever I just went to school and showed my work, to my friends and stuff, I got really anxious because I didn't really want them to actually notice that I can't draw. And it was just tracing, okay? Like one person was suspicious, okay? He probably knew. So then I started to draw for myself, and what I realized, I can't draw for shit. So I was still garbage. If you're like me, you want to improve, okay? And you hate when your drawings aren't good, okay? You're too hard on yourself, like I am. But yeah, I was still garbage, and I wanted to improve. So I started to practice, okay? And I finally started to notice some progress. And that's what I want to share with you. Like, all the stuff, all the ways you can actually practice to make a lot of progress. So I've been drawing for like 1.5 years, okay, maybe like 2 years. I've made a decent progress, and I want to share the things that I know so you can make even more progress, even faster, and with much less work. So I think that's a deal. Now, what's the things that we'll be talking about? So first one will be about what's a good practice, okay? What does it mean? Okay, and then we'll actually discuss what to practice to make progress, and then how to practice. And last, there's a bonus, I guess, where I'll give you all my tools that I use for practicing. They are free, so you don't have to pay. Now, let's start with what's a good practice. And first, one thing that you gotta do is always draw from reference while you practice. Because you don't want, if you're drawing without reference, okay, you don't really know how things look. And now if I want to practice drawing, I mean, I can I guess draw eyes or whatever, okay, but I don't really know how they look, okay, so I gotta practice that. And how you can practice? By using reference, okay, to actually see how it looks. Yeah, so one thing, just always use a reference while practicing. If you're drawing for fun for yourself or whatever, you don't have to. It would be also nice to use a reference. But yeah, recently I've just realized, I mean, like recently, like, a while ago, I realized you gotta be focused, okay? You gotta be focused on drawing, on stuff that you actually draw, to actually practice, to actually improve. So yeah, if you're drawing like, I don't know, an eye, what I was doing all the time, like for the whole past year, so like in that year, or like in a couple of months, I've stopped doing that, is I was listening to music, okay, and I would all the time focus on the lyrics, on the stuff, and I wasn't really paying much attention to my drawing or the subject that I've been drawing. If you want, you can close music, okay, and just draw in silence. I prefer that. I see that I get lost in drawing and all, but still I'm focused, okay, so I get like motivation even whenever I just draw in silence. So yeah, what also is good for a good practice is a routine. So for me, every day at 8 p.m, I guess, 8 or 9, I just practice. I want to make it actually like, earlier, but it's now hard to change. But yeah, you want to make it a routine, a habit to practice for every day. Also, there's a lot of reasons why you should draw every day. I have a video on that, you can go watch that. But yeah, you want to make it a habit, because a habit, it's hard to stop. It's hard to break a habit. So you want to make a habit for every day at like, let's say 3 p.m. or 5 p.m, okay? You sit and draw. You'll sit and practice for like 30 minutes. And now I know what you will say. You don't have a time. And that's a cope. Okay, bro? That's a cope. So to practice, you don't need much time. Okay, you can like spend 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, you don't need like 2 hours, 4 hours to practice something. And even if you don't cope, if you really don't have like 10 minutes of free time in your day, maybe you're in school, maybe you're in work, I don't know. Like you are on the bus or whatever, you can sketch there. In one hand you have a phone with reference, and in other you have a pen, okay, and you draw on your knees. Also, for good practice, what I've noticed is warm up. So like 5 minutes of warm up and your whole painting, your whole practice will be much better. Trust me, bro. Now also, what I would recommend is to balance, okay? You don't want to only practice in your day. You want to also draw for yourself, to not burn out, to not, like get tired of it. And I have a video about that also. But yeah, also what can help is setting goals. So set the goal that for this week, let's say you will be practicing faces. But now, actually setting goals, but you need to know what to draw. So that takes us to the next part, which is knowing what to practice. And how do you know what to practice? One thing, I mean, there's a couple of things that you can practice, like fundamentals, like specific stuff, like, I don't know, maybe, you know, there are fundamentals like, I don't know, perspective, anatomy and stuff. You can go and practice specific stuff like, I don't know, eyes, hair, clothes, or whatever. And how do you actually know what to practice? How to choose that? One, just practice what you want, okay? You want to, I don't know, maybe draw better eyes or whatever, just practice eyes. Now you can also review your works. So you can look at your drawings and see what's the worst, okay? What's the weakest part of your drawing, and you can practice that. And if you need help with that, top link in the description below, quick plug. But yeah, you can, like, I don't know, even take your painting and post it on social media and ask what's wrong with it, and maybe you will get some feedback. So that's how you know what to practice. Now let's go to the actually one thing that is how to practice. That's the most important stuff, okay? So for me, there's a couple of styles, couple of, I don't know, ways to practice. And the one thing that I love that I would, if you have to choose one for your whole life, I would do that, which is time practice. So I don't know, I just came up with it. Obviously me or whatever, not anybody else. No one ever has done that, okay, on the YouTube. No one. I'm joking. I haven't really, you know, watched someone talk about that. But yeah, what it is time practice. And how do you do that? So choose a reference, okay? Choose a reference and set time. And now let's say you just put reference here, okay, on the canvas, and here you draw. You try to draw this thing in, like, you set 3 minutes, and that's it. Okay, 3 minutes ends, hands up, go from your station, look at it, you're done. You ain't working on that anymore. Maybe if you like it, you can go actually work on that later. Okay, you have specific time to finish that reference, that drawing, and that's what I use for my actually art challenges, where for each day I practice one part. So like for one week I do eyes only, and I do the same, but I also add to that repetition. And what it is okay, one time you do that, but then do that 10 times. And that's what I do on those art challenges. So for each day I do like 10 drawings, 10 references for like 5 minutes, and because of that it will take me 50 minutes to go through 10 pieces. And now, there's a lot of benefits on that. So one, you'll get better. Then you'll get also faster, okay? Because of the limited time, you will spot the really important stuff, okay? So like the big shapes, I guess, if you're drawing like I don't know, a figure or whatever. So yeah, that's the practice that I love, that I will preach. I can do only that practice, okay? And I recommend to you. Now, other practices are just normal studies, okay? So you take a subject, you take a photo, a reference photo, and you don't have really a time. I mean, you can also set time like 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, and you try to replicate it. You can, I don't know, like take a picture of something with interesting light and stuff, and you can try to copy that, okay, in your art style, or, you know, like just try to copy that. And those are studies. You can also study like other artists. So you can like put here like a painting of someone and try to copy it, okay? And if you do that, you don't really have to, like, don't post it anywhere, okay? I mean, you can if you're like, I don't know, like doing a video about that, but you know, don't just post copies of someone else's work. So yeah, and the next one is actually tracing. So that's what I've been doing at the beginning, at the very beginning of my art. I would take a piece of paper, okay, take a monitor, put it upside down, put it on the desk, put a paper on that, you know, max out the full brightness and just trace it. That's what I would do at the beginning. And now you don't have to do that, okay? You can just take a picture, change a little bit of opacity, okay? You can draw on that. And don't just do that just to like copy stuff. I mean copy, but with a brain, okay? Think about it. And most of the time I do that when I'm struggling with proportions and stuff. So whenever I try to draw something, okay, make the faces off. What I do is, okay, I put here my version, okay. Then I do another version when I trace, okay. I put it here, and then I'll do like another version. So, you know, there's 3 versions of the same drawing, I guess. And I see that here, okay, I've made some progress, okay? But here, obviously, you know, it looks the same as the reference because it's traced, yeah? But then I do without tracing, and it's much better than this, okay? So this is much better than this. And yeah, you can do that with a lot of stuff, okay? But tracing, I use tracing only to practice. And with, I mean, it's a good way to practice. But now let's go to the tools, the free tools. So what I use is an app called Gesture Sesh. So this is a Gesture Sesh, okay? It's like, it's for time practices. So you choose a folder with your references, okay? Then you right here, obviously press randomize, okay? To just randomize it. Then you type a number of images you want to actually do. So let's say you want to do 10 images. And duration, so let's take 5 minutes for each one. And you can press add and see here you have it. You can also save your presets. So what's here, you can save that. Okay, you can delete it. It's pretty good. So you see here, I press OK and it cycles through them. Okay, so like you see here, there's a 5 minutes, and I can, you know, try to recreate that to practice from that drawing. You can flip it, you can make it grayscale, which is amazing. You can pause it if you need time, and yeah, you can go to the next. So yeah, that's the one thing that I use, which is for time practice is the best. Now let's go to the other one, which is PureRef. Okay, so let's take something, I don't know, a photo. Okay, you can put your references here. You probably know PureRef. I hope you know. Okay, what's the best thing about it? It always stays on top, so you can draw and it stays on top. You can put a multiple, you know, references here. Okay, you can make a whole mood board, which is amazing. You can rotate, you can make it also grayscale. So yeah, this is like a really good thing. Now what can you do is you can also use 3D. So I have a video about that, how I use 3D in my artworks. Sometimes, I mean, recently I've not been using that. But yeah, like what I mean in 3D, there's a program called 3D DAZ or DAZ 3D. But you can also use just like a models of, you know, of head, I guess. Okay, so you have a 3D model here, and you can, I don't know, like take a screenshot, put it to PureRef, and here practice it. So amazing. Also what I use is a website called Pose Maniac. So what it is here is you have different poses, okay? You can open one, okay? And here you can, you know, also take a screenshot of that. You can put it in different views. So that's really helpful for practicing, let's say, gestures. And yeah, if you want to actually improve your art, top link in the description below, you can join that. So yeah, I hope you learned something. I hope you know now how to practice. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go like and subscribe. And you can go check all my socials, and that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Now what you can do is go create something cool, okay? So go do that, and bye.